just do this. That's weird.
I know you're like partially deaf, right?
What?
Aren't you partially deaf?
What?
Yeah, see? Hey guys, welcome back to Season 2, Episode 2. Is me, your host, Shawn Wayne, and Mr. Dylan Patrick Halza. How you doing, Dylan?
I'm doing good.
We are hitting it again. Season 2. Season 2 has been awesome, and we're coming in pretty strong. Episode 1 did really well, right, Dylan?
Yeah, that's good.
It ain't even up yet.
It was so good when we did it.
Yeah, it was a very good episode. We were with Kirk Hayden, and when he went over to Afghanistan and stuff, we was talking about him, and it was a really good episode. Today, we have some great guests, really good close friend of mine, and another guy that I just met through a mutual friend, Jesse Priest. We had on Season 1 as well, and that podcast did really well. And he was also at our subathon, which was awesome. He was there hanging out with us and playing some of his music and stuff like that. This is a local friend of his. They did like a podcast together, and he produced it, and he's interested in helping them with the production of my podcast. So, Dylan, I'll let you introduce them if you would like to.
We have Seth and Daniel.
Seth's taking notes.
Yep. Drawing pictures of tacos.
Yes. See, right here.
The light is through. What is that?
And a smiley face.
And then tacos, they make me happy.
Happy tacos.
Oh, I see. The light's so bright.
That was a bright spot.
There it is. I see it now. Oh, I can't see it now.
Tilt it.
It's like a
There we go.
flashlight. When you aim it,
there
it's
we
like a
go.
flashlight.
Reflecting
Tacos
back.
equal happiness.
Here we go.
Could go for some tacos.
Above
right
me, Seth Trimble. Beside me, over here, is Daniel. I can't remember your last name. Sorry. Harbison. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Let's be real, Shawn. There's nobody above.
Sorry.
now. So unprofessional.
I know. But yeah, how are you guys?
Fantastic. How are you?
Great. Welcome to the Thought Process, the podcast where we wing everything. Actually. Yeah, it's great to have you guys on. Me and Seth go way back to our production days at Mr. Baker's. That was fun little deal.
Oh, yeah. Just climbing through attics, climbing under stages, dragging wires, getting stabbed in the back of the head with roofing nails. It's a great time.
I'm sorry.
And when I say getting stabbed in the back of the head with roofing nails, I don't mean like that we're in the attic. He would take roofing nails and just like stab me in the back of the head with them.
There was reasons, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
He would get behind me and I would get scared. I was like trying to walk through the attic. Remember when I
With
fell?
your nail?
Yeah.
I'll save us. I've got this nail. Anything attacks.
You put your whole leg through a ceiling.
Yeah, dude.
Oh boy.
Dude, it was awful. Like I was like walking across the beams or whatever, and I was trying to hurry, and I slipped, went right through the.
I have that picture on my phone somewhere.
Just a foot hanging through.
Dude.
It's just of the hole. But
Yeah. I actually we got some property over here in Battleground, and I pass that church every time we go to that property. So it's like a heavy reminder that I fell through the roof of that ceiling. I'm like, I always tell
Was it
my
a church?
Yeah, it was a church.
So it was a holy church when he was there.
Yeah,
I always like to joke that 90% of our jobs drilling holes in churches.
Yeah.
100%. It really was.
Making the churches more holy.
We had like,
Literally.
yeah, we were like putting speakers up, and we had such a good time. That was, if there is any, because we talk about this all the time, like jobs and like, the people make the jobs. Like, you hate the job, but you stay there because of the people there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Baker is one of those jobs, like, the people make the job. Like, when me and Seth became friends and was working, I never wanted to leave. I was like, I'll do this forever.
But you left me anyway.
Yeah, I did. I ended up, I can't remember why even, I pursued, YouTube blew up. And I was like, I made a fat paycheck from YouTube, and I was like, I can do this full time.
I'm going to be YouTube famous.
Yep.
Yeah.
I told
We're getting there.
I told Baker, I was like, I'm gonna pursue YouTube. I just want to work part time. He's like, all right, I'll call you. Never called me back. He was so mad at me.
We're just on that get rich slow program right
There
now
we
with
go.
YouTube.
There we go.
Well,
Not-
at least Rich
Little
is,
at a time.
Or at least rich is somewhere in your vocabulary.
Yeah. We have a goal.
Yeah, we're working toward it. We're working toward it.
That's why we're here.
Exactly. So we, like I said, me and Seth go way back in doing the production stuff. We had a solid good time. When I met Seth, I had no idea who Seth was and what he was a part of, because he was a part of a big band called Shallow Side, and I didn't listen to Shallow Side, so I had no idea like who Seth was, but
That's fair.
he is, you know, he's
He
pretty
told me-
famous.
Yeah, he told me about you, and I was like, oh, I know who that is.
Yeah.
He's on Shell's side, and he's like, who's that?
I was like, I work with a guy that says he plays guitar. I have no idea.
He's decent.
I'm right at okay.
Garage band, you know?
But
Yeah.
ended up working with you and becoming really good friends. I ended up actually buying some of the Shallow Side merch, and I had it for a while. Me and you, you was like, yeah, you go here and buy it or whatever. And you was actually working on an apparel shop yourself during that time. So remember, we used to do the apparel for Shallow Side. Did you not?
Yeah, I did a lot of the Photoshop work, a lot of the design work, a lot of the flyers.
Yeah.
Made lyric videos. I did a lot of content type stuff for him.
Yeah.
Wearing a bunch of hats.
Pretty much. It was really just one big 10-gallon hat.
Yeah. Just put all this in there.
Like, you know, Doug Dimmadome. I'm wearing a Dimsdale
oh,
Dimmadome.
yeah. That's a big one.
I was like him.
Because we would be on our way to a job site, and you would just be like, you know, over there. You had your iPad out, and you was just like, you know, doing all kinds of cool stuff. And I was like, man, I really like to do something like that. You are what inspired me to do an apparel shop.
Oh,
So
well, cool.
Yep.
Inspiration.
yeah, it really was. And
So when we blow up, you can look back on this.
It
and be like,
did
I
take-
inspired that guy.
it did took a few years before I actually started the apparel stuff. But I was like, yeah, I want to do that. It's pretty cool. And so that's what I do. I like go through designs and try to figure out like what would be best to, you know, put on a shirt and stuff like that. We got a bunch of stuff coming out. I got to update the website. I do have a website for like my apparel stuff. So I've got to update it, but we do have a bunch of cool like thought process merch coming out, and then merch of my own and stuff like that. So we got a bunch of cool stuff coming down the road. But again, a stem from you.
Oh,
So that's pretty cool.
So do you do like drop shipping, or do you get it printed locally type thing?
I do, you know, Jiffy.com.
No, I use Shopify.
You do use Shopify? Okay, so I get my shirts from Jiffy because they're not cheap, but they're like, they're very
reasonable.
good. You buy them in bulk, you get better pricing and stuff like that.
Oh.
So I use them, and then sometimes they'll do like DTFs. They'll do like discounts on DTFs, and I'll get DTFs printed out and sent to me, and then I'll do all the stuff at my house.
Did you say DTF?
Yeah. You know, DTF, direct transfer.
Oh, okay.
I know where you're going.
No, that's where.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get like they do the DTFs on the shirts, and then they'll send them in the mail or you know FedEx or whatever, and then I'll take the DTFs and put them on the shirts. So I have like a heat press at home, and I do all the shirts like that.
Oh, that's
and then
cool.
we'll ship them out. You know, per order, I'll ship them out. I'll just take them to the post office and ship them out and all that
Oh.
good stuff.
Yeah, I've just got mine. I've got my Shopify account linked up to Printify.
Yeah.
And they handle like all I've got to do is just upload my design on a T-shirt, and then they print it and ship it out and all that. I ain't even got to deal with it.
That's what I wanted, but I didn't know how to sort of get into that. I know Brandon Good. He'll be on our next episode, but Brandon Good used to do that, and he said he did very well in that sort of like process when he was doing all that stuff. But I never could get into that and to where I could do that.
It's really easy to set up. You can just who do you do your website through?
Wix.
Oh, there's probably a way to link it up.
Yeah, I think there is. I know I can link it up on like my YouTube channel, like at the because at the bottom they'll have like your website and like your store or whatever it is, like your store, and then like you could go to the like my store and buy directly from like YouTube, and it goes to like my website and then purchase it from my website and stuff like that. So I know you can do stuff along those lines. I just didn't know. At the time I wanted to build my own website, and then so I just built it just to play around with it. And then they had like this discount where they were doing like half off, so you could buy like a whole year for like $400 instead of like $700 or something like that. So I was like, oh, I'll do that. So I bought a whole year of it, and then started trying to go from there. I was like, well, I got to make the website work now. You know what I mean? So
we got it for a year.
Yeah, so
Nice.
it's worked out good. We've had some here and there sales, but I haven't had anything like major. Like I spent more on the website than I've made from the apparel.
I do, me too.
So I was like, man,
Works flawlessly.
It's like we were saying earlier, we're our own biggest customer.
100%. Dylan's
Yeah.
my biggest customer right now, but it's because I give him the money to go purchase from, like buy my merch for me and you.
Gotta make it look good.
And yeah, I got some traffic coming in, you know.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like the sales are going well.
Yeah.
Like those accounts on X where like they post something, you're like, oh, this has got a freaking 1,000 comments on there, and it's all them making comments
Yeah.
over and over and over and over. Then they're commenting on everybody else's comment. Makes it look like they're getting more traction than they are.
That's a
Nice.
big thing too on because you can, you know, what they call farm reactions and stuff, so you can get paid from Twitter and stuff like that. So sometimes that stuff comes in handy, like, you know, and we've got like a whole, we're doing like this behind the scenes, or not behind the scenes, we're doing this, we got to put it behind the paywall because it's like YouTube secrets and stuff like that. We're doing this huge like little thing where if you join the channel, I'll just throw this out there, shameless plug, I got a member button on the bottom of my YouTube channel. If you want to join it, you get access to like YouTube secrets, how to grow your YouTube channel, you know, how to monetize and stuff like that. That is all on my members only thing. There's just like a ton of stuff that we can help you guys help grow your YouTube channels and stuff like that. So just want to throw that out there.
Speaking of shameless plugs, that's another thing that's also available behind his paywall.
You know. But yeah, we're moving along pretty good since the old Baker days, you know. We're
That's
moving
good.
along pretty good. We're trying to get the production good, and that's actually why Daniel's here. I talked to him about doing some production stuff.
Yeah, if you can't tell, I wasn't prepared to be in front of a camera
Surprise.
today. I was going to be
Surprise
behind
guest.
one.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm jealous that I don't have an armadillo on my shirt, to be perfectly honest.
You know,
He's wearing glasses.
Oh, it's
I've
got the
got
Elton John
one-
like star sunglasses. That's
I've got
awesome.
I've got one for every day of the week. They're different colors, and they just all have armadillos on them.
Man.
Nice.
The armadillo. So I love shirts like that, like the armadillo wearing glasses. My
Right.
next apparel is me. Well, it's not me. It's a cat, and it's riding a unicorn shark. It's pretty. It's pretty cool. It's something I would wear. I don't know if anybody else is gonna wear, but it's riding a unicorn shark. It's got like a lightsaber and it's shooting like laser beams from this. It's pretty cool.
I'd wear it.
I got one on my side. It's a biker with a pirate hat riding a motorcycle, and it says "Born to be Arg" on it.
Nice. Very creative. Dad joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, all day. All day.
All day.
Do you want to shout out your apparel?
Sure. That's crimsoncouture.net if you feel like checking it out. I like to think it doesn't suck, but that's all subjective.
He's got some really cool stuff on there. Was it the first episode, Dylan? We actually shouted your stuff out.
Did
yeah,
you?
we were talking about
Yeah,
it.
100%.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I put your website on the screen and everything. And
What?
yeah, it's it's either the first or second episode.
We were talking about apparel.
Yeah,
We was talking about you starting one up.
Oh.
yeah. So I didn't know if you knew that or not. We
I did
shouted
not.
you out. Yeah. I see. I remember you, brother.
My boy. My boy Blue.
I think I linked your website in the description and everything. So yeah.
Oh. Maybe that's why I got like 10 extra viewers that week.
Maybe
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
There
it's
you
like
go.
7. But
Who
yeah,
is this guy?
we're trying to up the production of this YouTube channel and stuff like that. So that's why, you know, we got Daniel here. He's wanting to come in and check it out and see, you know, what we got going on, you know. And a huge shout out to Yoder's Talk. You can see the signs behind me and stuff on here. They sponsor the channel. Thank you guys so much for the sponsorship that you provide us with, because we get to use your studio and all kinds of cool stuff. So exactly. Thank you. Let's put you on the big screen.
Yep.
Yoder's Talk. You could find them on
Since we're bringing up
YouTube.
the elephant in the room.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, back to back to the thought process. So yeah, Daniel, you have done a bunch of production stuff. In like audio world, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Have you done a lot of video stuff?
A little
I feel
bit.
like I'm giving an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
what
an
you do.
on the spot.
Learning the
interview.
man.
There you go.
So 'cause he's done a lot of stuff.
Break out
Yeah.
the resume, you know.
Jesse Priest and I used to run a YouTube channel called Retro Couch Sessions, and I
That just
basically
sounds cool.
basically did the video and the audio stuff for all that. And we would bring like local artists in, and just have them come in and kind of talk about who they are and what they do, and then we would have a performance by them toward the end of the podcast. And yeah, I've done that. I do a lot of recording stuff too. I've got a lot of recording stuff, like audio recording for bands and stuff in my house as well. Been dabbling in that for like, I don't know how long, like 20 years probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been in music pretty much since I was 5. So just kind of always been my thing, you know?
Yeah. So there's another podcast. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you consider it as a podcast, but well, I guess you could. I think they consider it as a podcast. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting down a rabbit hole. So it's called Fancies Unfiltered. Have you ever
Yeah.
heard of them?
Yeah, we were. Jesse was actually on there, and
That's where I heard from him. Was
yeah.
Jesse.
And I actually play guitar and sometimes different instruments depending on what we need in his band, and we were actually on there recently.
Really? What are?
Yeah.
I'm very curious because they're very music. I guess very music rooted.
Right.
I guess.
Yes.
And I've seen a little bit of their stuff, but I haven't like reached out or anything to them just yet. But I have planned on reaching out and talking to them and
Yeah.
seeing what they're about. But they're very music rooted.
Yeah,
right?
they got a very cool thing going on over there that's really supporting local artists and stuff like that too.
Kind of like
Putting up-
Michael from My Coleman Television. He tries to support like local talent,
Yes.
and I love that. It's like a huge thing to me,
Right.
because nobody ever recognized like us, like me and Dylan, as talent. Like as we're going through this whole YouTube process and stuff like that. So
Right.
anybody that starts like recognizing talent and like wants to put them in front of a screen and stuff, like My Coleman Television even did. I don't know if you guys know, but they even put Oh So Clutch, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because Oh So Clutch is such a
Confrontational person
yeah,
right now.
yeah, and he's all over like Coleman Unfiltered and stuff like that. But they put him on the screen and give him some sort of voice to
Right.
express his music and stuff, which is wild.
Yeah, I think that's very important around here too, because we all know kind of how the mindset usually goes around here, like stop doing this and get a real job. type
Yes,
stuff.
absolutely.
So-
We've been doing that since day one. People are like, "Why are you doing this?" It's because, well, we make some sort of paycheck from it.
Right, and we love doing it, and this is what we want to do, and why shouldn't we get paid for doing what we love to do?
Exactly, bro. That's 100%. And Michael's the same way. Michael's like, I want to express as much, because he's got a big platform as on his Facebook. He's got like, I think right at 20,000 followers. Like he's moving on pretty good.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
yeah, and for him to put, like me, or not me, because I'm at like 15,000, so I probably give him 7 viewers, but for him to put somebody up there, that's like 2,000 followers or something like that. Let's, for an example, Also Clutch, I think he's like right at 2,000 followers or something.
Yeah.
But for to bring him on there, that's that's huge. Especially, I know he's very confrontational in his stuff, but that's huge for him to have like just 2,000 and then get put on this platform with 20,000 followers, and then some you might get 5,000 followers from that platform over to
Right.
his. And
A guy that I follow a lot is Asmongold. I don't know if y'all know
Oh,
who
yeah.
Asmongold is.
I
but
almost made the comment
Yeah.
that you kind of look like
yeah,
him.
I watch a lot of his stuff. I watch a lot of Moist Critical too, which
Yeah, absolutely.
he's kind of got the same thing going on. But yeah, and it's a big deal. Like when small creators get on those big platforms like that, man, it can really like make or break you.
Yeah,
you know?
100%. That's what I was thinking about.
Making connections.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking about Also Clutch getting on My Coleman Television. My Coleman Television, they're kind of PG, like
It's
kind of
really
like
random that you bring up Oh So
Right.
Clutch, because one time I was at the studio just working and doing something, and then this random guy comes in and he wants us to do an interview in the studio or something with him. So yeah, I sit down with him, I get his phone out or something, and we do it, and then I ask him just a bunch of random questions, and turns out, look him up on Facebook later, it's oh so clutch.
No way. Like he asked you to interview him?
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, you know how Charles has like the recording studio? and all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
in
yeah.
there? Yeah, we just sat down behind the mixer board and I just asked him a bunch of questions.
I feel like I seen that.
You
Interview
might have
to
been
work
there
there?
at that point in time.
I don't remember him coming in like while I was working, but
It's been a hot minute.
yeah, it's been
Was it an
it's been a
interview
while.
to record or to work there?
Oh no, just like as
Just
in
an
like I'm doing
one-on-one
an interview
interview?
for your social media type
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Oh, and he got you to sit down and ask him questions. What'd Baker think of that?
He was just like, hey, this dude's here. Just go sit down, ask him some questions. I was like, oh, all right.
It's a
Let's go.
memorable character or pretty average, seemed like,
I mean, he
at
was,
that time?
he was kind of like, he seemed kind of quiet and shy. That's why I was a little thrown off when you were talking about like how like confrontational and stuff. Like,
I don't know if you're on
I haven't followed it, so I don't know that much about it.
I don't know
I
if
just
you're
know
on
it's-
like Coleman Unfiltered. Are you?
I remember
I know-
some
There's some
funny-
interesting stuff on
I
there.
remember some interesting comments from the band days on Coleman Unfiltered, but
Yeah,
that's about it.
I remember you kind of on the social media side. I remember you being kind of a little quiet on when it comes to that sort of stuff. And I knew you're massive on social media. I don't know if you know that or not, but you're pretty massive on social media. Like
Really?
you've got a pretty big following. Yeah,
Huh.
like
How
your
about that?
your Facebook page has a pretty big following.
Huh.
And then
Cool.
of course, yeah. So, but I never knew if you like dabbled into like the groups and stuff like that, like Coleman Unfiltered and all that. But on Coleman Unfiltered, like it's like Matthew Hall is his real name, and Oso Clutch is his real name, and like he is very confrontational because like
We might be related.
this is all allegedly he beat his wife or something like that, or
Oh.
beat his girlfriend,
Ooh, boy.
and
Those
they lost
accusations.
the accusations. He
I'm
like
not saying it's
lost
true. It's just
Allegedly.
what it
allegedly
being said. Yeah.
This is what we seen posted on everywhere, and then my wife had told me about all this stuff, but it's like he lost the baby when he done that, but she never pressed charges on him or something like that. I don't know, it's very controversial. And then like
Wow.
some guy like met him, and this is so wild, some guy like met him in the Denny's parking lot, and they're like, why are you driving a Ford Focus with these underage girls over here? Because he's always talking about having houses and cars and stuff in his video and having a bunch of money and stuff like that, which a lot of people don't understand the persona
Speak
of
into-
like the internet. Like you got to do stuff like that, like, or not, some people haven't, some people have to fake it to make
So it's all about creating an image.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of people, if they don't create that image, they don't lift off the ground very fast.
Yeah,
you
their
know what I mean?
online personas could be a lot more appealing than like their regular person. They
Exactly.
just put on a face for the cameras to bring in content, because that's really what it's about: getting the views, getting the content, reaching out to people, even if it's not your own self.
Exactly.
I feel like I'd relate more to a regular dude doing
Yeah.
cool stuff.
That's how we are.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
We just wing it.
yeah,
Yeah.
we drive normal cars,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
04 Grand Marquis.
Nice.
we invest our money. That's what we do. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I really don't listen to me in an investing process, because I do not invest money.
I was gonna ask you what to do with my 401k.
Please don't
Yeah.
ask me at all. I will say, dump it and or cash it out, buy a sailboat, and sell to Hawaii, 'cause that's
Well-
what selling with Phoenix did.
Oh, for the record, I don't have one of those.
Me neither, brother.
I got like $50 in Bitcoin. I think I made $1.
Oh, okay.
Hey, there we go.
I dropped out like last week at 106. It went to 111.
I have tens of dollars invested in the stock market.
I bought.
Wow.
There we go.
It was buying lunch today.
I bought like $35 in Bitcoin and then transferred it to stake.com so I could gamble, but it like lost $3 before it got to stake.com, so I end up with like $32. I was like,
Yeah.
this is the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals ever, bro.
Yeah.
This is
I
ridiculous.
put money on the Trump coin and lost like $40. I was like, this is going to take off, man. It went from $0 to $70 like instantly. So I'm getting on this train, and I got on it when it climaxed,
Yeah.
and then it just crashed
I remember I
after
put a
that.
bunch of money into that Dogecoin whenever it was getting big. So like, yes, it's getting big, it's getting big. And then, bam, crap, I should have sold.
I have a friend that could see Dogecoin, like he knew it was going to take off, so he put everything into it. And I won't say the name of my friend on here because he likes to stay like anonymous, but he made like 32 grand off of it. It was insane. He
Got out
cashed
ahead of
out.
it.
Yeah, he cashed it out. Like he got ahead of it. He was like that and a couple more like meme coins. He was investing in meme coins pretty hard.
Wow.
I don't have
Yeah,
the time
for
to
him.
look at them.
Yeah,
You got to hit them like as soon as they drop. As soon as you know
Yeah.
about it, you got to invest, and then they
Mhm.
take off. Then you got to get out.
he was watching hardcore. You know, he's got like the screens and everything. He was watching. He's making sure of it, and he did. He made like 32 grand just off Doge, which was
Gosh.
crazy.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of images, like, you know, all that stuff, getting the fake it before you make it and stuff like that. Yeah, Oso Clutch had reached out to Yoder's Talk, which is crazy.
Different spectrum.
Yeah,
there.
because Yoder's Talks, you know, they talk about leading, like leadership in business and leading with a purpose, and they're very faith driven, stuff like that. And Oso Clutch reached out, or his management. I don't really know if he's, you know, what his management looks like and all that, but his management reached out to Yoder Stock. We got an email one night, and we're all like, we're fisting across 100,000 subscribers on Yoder Stock at this point in time. So we're sitting there like watching it, and we get an email. So I'm like looking at the email, and me and Corey are on Discord together. So we're sitting there looking, and we're like, who is Oso Clutch? He's from Coleman. He's like an upcoming artist. So I was like, I've never heard of him. So we like looking up. We go to his YouTube channel, and then Corey's like, and we're streaming this, and like I was like, look at this, Corey. Looks like he's, you know, like a rapper. And then like the first video, he's like, I got 14 hoes. He's like throwing up like, you know, money on his face. Like, got 14 hoes, one by myself. I don't even know what it said, but it was like something along those lines. And Corey's like,
Nope.
We're
out.
It's like, I don't think Clinton's gonna go for that.
Yeah, this is not a good fit, buddy.
No. Yeah.
Especially for Yoder's Talk, because of how, you know, if you watch Yoder's Talk, you'd understand they're very, you know,
Faith driven.
faith driven. So that was not down their alley, and that was far from an alley that
Yeah.
Yoder's Talk goes down in the sense of alleys. So it was it was pretty crazy for him to reach out to like Yoder's Talk to get like an interview like that. I guess, you know, the worst they could say is no. So
Yeah.
I guess, you know, props for him for, you
Putting
know,
the word out, I guess.
yeah,
I mean, you miss all the shots you don't take.
exactly. Yeah.
Wayne
exactly.
Gretzky.
That's true.
Michael Scott.
But yeah, we so me and Seth, we used to, jumping back to like me and Seth, we used to do all kinds of cool stuff together when we were working together.
I like that time he put struts on my car. That was awesome.
That was pretty cool, actually. Oh yeah, and your Australian girlfriend came with you.
She did.
Sorry, I should have asked. Are you still like together and everything?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was just
Yeah,
making sure.
absolutely.
I was just making sure because I haven't, like, me and you haven't talked. We go stretches without talking,
Yeah.
and it's like we picked up where we left off every time we talk again.
It's like we never left.
I know. We'll be like walking around Walmart grocery shopping, and we'll see each other, and we're like, Tim. And we, like, run up.
forever.
My wife's like, "Are you gay?" So I like ran up and hugged him. So
Well, yeah, but that was
Okay.
never a secret.
yeah, we've always been gay. But
I mean,
yeah,
I'm
we-
not gay, but my boyfriend is.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, we go way back. We've done a bunch of cool stuff together. You know, I remember crawling under the tiniest stage, dude, and it was getting claustrophobic. And I was like, pull me out. And you're like making fun of me. You're like knocking on the, where are you? I can't find you. You're like knocking on the stage.
You're
It's
just
like,
down there,
like, bro, I'm about to crash out. You need to pull me out of this thing right now. It's like sweating, dude, in there. It was-
Well, hand me the wire real quick.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Dude, it was so claustrophobic, and I was always scared. Like, I've never told anybody this, but churches, you know, a church is a church. I'm not scared of churches, but I always like going in basements or in attics of churches, and I'm like looking
Like
around, you know.
The devil's gonna get you. in
No,
there or
not,
something.
I'm just afraid there's gonna be like an
Bad
angel in the corner
bad omens.
looking at me.
I mean, if there's an angel in the corner looking at you, is that not a good thing?
Yeah,
I
pretty
would
good.
think,
I mean,
but
at least you know if you put your foot through the ceiling, you're good.
Yeah.
I did do that.
There's not enough light in here.
Can I admit,
I'll have to find the picture later, and then you can put it in post production.
Yeah.
I was like walking across the beams, and I slipped and I fell through, and then like he's looking at me just like, Oh no! I'm just hanging there. I'm like, push my leg up, bro.
I don't know how to do drywall on the roof.
In all the attics that I've ever been in and seen people in, that's the only time I've ever seen that happen. You're a
Special.
talented man.
It was
Whoops.
hot, bro. It was the middle of summer. I was sweating. My shoes were sweating. Dude. It's like,
And I had to cool off, and I had to do it now.
Fresh air.
I like when I fell. I fell through, and like my front foot was on the beam. So when I fell, I landed on my thigh, and it pushed me backwards. My butt landed on the other beam.
Well, at least you didn't land straddling the
Yeah.
joist.
Oh yeah,
That would have been rough.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would have sucked. And then you were sitting there waiting. You're like, oh man, that's crazy. And I'm like,
It's
push-
probably just processing the whole thing that just happened. It's like, what just happened?
Wait, did he actually just do that?
I'm
like-
not imagining this.
I'm like, dude, push me up.
Is it a finish coming through, or is this just all we're getting? One
do
foot?
you, do you want to come down, or do you want to try and climb back up? What's the protocol here?
Yeah. Never seen this happen before.
In those tall churches, man. You know
That'd be really scary.
the tall,
Mhm.
dude, me, Seth, and Michael. Michael used to work with us. Michael walked in and he was like, "Man, that's gonna suck for you." And I was like, "I'm afraid. I'm afraid of heights. I'm not going up there." So
my thought process is if I can't see the floor, then I'm okay.
Yeah.
that's
can
what
be
you
in this-
always told me, but I was always so scared.
Yeah,
it gets
no, 'cause-
easier the more you do it too. Cause when we were building our shop when I was working at Greening, I helped them hit. There's that scissor lift, the man lift thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Went up it in the first time, and you're just up there swaying,
You're just like,
two of you in there, and this is kind of scary. But once you do it for a while, you're hanging off the side of the rails and hoping OSHA don't come in.
Yeah, Seth would tell me all the time. He's like, "If you don't see the floor, just imagine the roof is like you said. Imagine the roof as or the rafters as the floor." And I was like,
Yeah.
I never could do it.
Yeah.
just stay on the wood. You're good.
No, I
Wood
never
is
could.
good.
A couple of times it'll get hairy. Run over a 2x4 or something when you're way up there, and you're like.
Yeah.
We put some lights. We have a sidewalk that has a gradient on the front of the shop, and
Yeah.
we put some lights to shine down the sidewalk. So if you go straight up, you're underneath the roof. But when you're out here, because it just keeps leaning as you're going up, then the wind's blowing.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst I've been in one. Because it's almost maxed out, and we was on the edge. Then we ran it off through the gravel in the parking lot and almost got stuck. It was good times.
Yeah, it's funny. I can be, if I'm in a covered attic that I can't see the floor, I can be 40 feet off the ground walking across the joist. I'm good. But conversely, we were running wires at this house a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
They hadn't put the sheetrock ceiling up yet, so it was just bare joists. And it was only 15 feet up, and I was just just trying to get across.
That's
When you could see it, you're like, that's a long
You're
ways.
yeah, I'm really this high up.
dude, no. There's it didn't matter if I could see the ground or if I couldn't see the ground. I knew I was in the air at a very alarming rate. If I fell through, I would probably get very injured or die.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
At least they won't have to move you far for the funeral.
Goal.
Be in the church.
Oh. Yeah, actually, we
Move them up front here.
just leave them there, then have the ceremony, go out, dig a hole,
Yep.
there you go.
Yeah. Go ahead and put me in the casket that's already. I just fall straight into a casket.
Here lies Shawn Wayne, ceiling enthusiast.
Oh, that's another thing, dude. We used to go to funeral homes all the time. You remember that? Dude, that was so scary.
That would be when you're talking about thinking about entities being around there and spirits, and a nursing home would be one, especially if it was by yourself, nobody else is in there but you. That'd be kind of scary.
And Michael never phased him. We went to several
That guy was
funeral
just built different.
He was 100%. I almost killed him. You remember that? When I got COVID, and then you don't remember that?
You almost killed him by giving him COVID?
Yes. I got COVID, and I didn't know I had it. Obviously, and I was at work, and then we were working and stuff. I was man, I just don't. I feel like crap. I need to go to the hospital or whatever. And I went to the hospital that day, and it turns out I had COVID. And then a week later, you and Michael got it. And then
I feel like I was mostly okay though.
I think
Yeah.
you was. Well, Michael ended up in the hospital for 4 months.
Oh yeah,
You remember
It's
that?
all Sean's
yeah.
fault.
I think I just had to do the
He's gonna want
mandatory.
compensation.
No, I didn't even have to do the mandatory time away. It was just all right, roll tide.
Yeah, you was the only one at work. You was working while you had COVID. He was just there, like,
just wear a mask around the old folks. You'll be fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
worked on cars. So I never had
I come
protocol.
back and I was like, Seth, you know, where's Michael? He's like, oh, he's still sick. And then like, me and you are just working for like the next month. We're like, you know what? I think Michael quit. And he's like, no, he's just sick. And I was like, he's been sick. Like, what do you mean? And then like, you know, we had not forgotten about Michael. I don't say we forgot about him because he's a cool dude. But like, you know, down the road, he eventually called us from the hospital and he was like, hey guys.
Yeah, really deep voice. Hey, guys.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm so sorry for almost killing you.
I felt so bad for him. I mean, were you there when there was that rat that had died in that office? And like it just the whole office just reeked.
Yes.
He worked out of that office like consistently.
Yes.
Like how did he do that? Like
I know.
Ugh.
Well, if he had the COVID, he's already lost the sense
Oh
of smell.
yeah.
Maybe
that's
that's what it
true.
was.
They don't smell
Maybe
it no
that's
more.
what it was. Like, 'cause you walk in there and it's just rat.
Hit you in the face.
Yeah.
Like his wife could not have been happy with him whenever he got home. Like just smelling like dead rat.
Like you could smell it from the office, and it just got stronger as you walked toward the green room. Like it was rough.
Being in a nursing home would be kind of eerie though. Just all the people in there and stuff.
We never got to do like a nursing home
No,
thing.
but sometimes when we did funeral homes, they did have the
Or I meant funeral home.
the person just kind of laid out while we were
Yeah.
doing our stuff.
Yeah.
that was so weird.
Mm-hmm.
We had a guy that passed at Winter Church, and we had we were head over, like, we had shifts to watch the body because they didn't want to move it from the funeral service, you know, the burial service the next day, so they left him there. So like it was me and my dad were running the first shift to just stay with the body overnight, so nobody would mess with it.
You will never find
So
me doing something like that.
me and Dad was sitting in the, we were just sitting in there talking to each other, and everybody done left, and you hear this like woman laughing, and we're like, "There's nobody here but me and you." So we sitting there, and they had a slideshow rolling, and it took us forever. We sat there the whole time like watching the slideshow. We're like, "Please, somebody laugh in this slideshow." It was kind of freaking us out. And there's like one short little video set, the rest of it's pictures, and it had a lady like laughing in the background in the video that they posted. And I was just standing there talking to each other, and we hear this woman laughing. No, nobody else is in here but us, especially not a lady. So we was kind of freaked out a little bit.
Although I did just get a genius idea. Next time I'm in that situation with someone, I'm going to bring a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it like somewhere down a hallway and then just play a laugh track.
Yeah. We
One of those crickets that you hide.
Yeah.
It just keeps going off.
Oh,
make them go insane. Me, Michael, and Seth went to this funeral home, and they had the body out there, you know, like, you know, out in the open or whatever. So like we're walking around, we're like putting speakers up in the ceiling. We got the scissor lift out, you know, and Seth's like looking down, like me and Seth are in the scissor lift, and I was like, I don't want no part of this, bro. I'm just stay beside you the whole time. And then Michael, he like walked over, and he's like, "You scared of this?" And he's like looking, he's like hovering over the body, and he's like, "They're dead." Like,
So
bro,
matter of fact about
please
it.
stop. But that was fun. Baker ended up coming out there. That was like his first appearance in the public since he hurt his leg or foot or something like that.
Yeah, plantar fasciitis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He showed me pictures. It was.
ugh,
Be rough.
it was very throw up all. Like you would throw up if you seen it.
Yeah, pretty much.
You want to throw
Pretty
in
much.
an
Hey,
advert?
here's what my foot looked like when they cut it up. Ugh.
Yeah, why would you show me that?
I just ate, man. Calm down.
Just show you all the time. He's like, "It's what I went through." Very good.
Some carrots in there.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, you remember the very good thing?
Oh yeah. And,
One day he's gonna watch this and he's gonna be like, "Them there's over." Something like that.
you're fired.
You're fired. Finally, I get fired.
Yeah.
He calls me up. He's like, "Hey, I was gonna get you to work part time for me finally, but
You know, I had a job coming up next week, but since
Yeah.
this podcast,
Yeah.
you're fired."
and you tell that other guy too.
But yeah, we've had a good time. That was like the stepping stone, because I did like YouTube and stuff. But you knew that I did YouTube and stuff before that. But Baker's was my first step into like a production. And I always tell everybody the story about me and you was at Stonebridge, and that was another one of Baker's appearances. And he come up there and you were telling him, you're like, "Hey, mute the mics," because you had to unplug he was like telling you to unplug the XLR. And we was at that veterans event, and he was like, I got it shut down. I know, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I own the place. Because there was like big wigs beside him, so he's like trying to,
Oh yeah.
and then you unplug the microphone and it sounded like D-Day.
It just carries through the whole room.
Yeah, and there's just a bunch of veterans just like hitting the deck. And then you're on stage, bro.
Call of Duty sounds through the subs.
Yeah, and you're just like standing there with the microphone and the XLR, and you're just like, I'm sorry.
And then I'm the guy that unplugged it, so everybody's looking at me like, "Arr."
Exactly.
Your fault.
And then Baker goes to mute it, He's like, ooh.
Oh.
Pulls the old fader down. You're good now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, good times.
You don't throw in a sponsor
Great
break.
times. I was actually at Stonebridge practically all weekend too.
Really?
Good time. Yeah, they have weddings there, and they, for some reason, like to have us go and play Bluetooth and do announcements.
Yeah.
And stuff for like, hey, here's the bride and groom. They're gonna dance. Now here's the mother and daughter. They're gonna dance.
That's
The
what you
buffet
do.
is now open.
Someone bring me some of that.
Yeah.
Get a sack up here.
They do have some pretty banging food there. Not gonna
Oh,
lie.
yeah. That's what we were going to go. I was going to take my wife over there for she graduated as a respiratory therapist, so I was going to take her over there.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah. So we're supposed to go in the next week or two or something like that and they're supposed to
Oh,
have
so
like
she
super
like
good-
that just happened.
Yeah, she just graduated and she
nice.
started her job. We wanted to wait till everything was, settled, and she got her license and started her job last week. So she's had like a full week at Children's Hospital already.
Oh, cool. So where'd she go to school for all that at?
Wallace.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm actually starting there next week.
Yeah, that's right. He did
Oh.
tell me that.
Get back into education.
Well, actually, I'm tomorrow. So there we go.
That's right.
What are you
Yeah.
going for?
Engineering technology.
That'd be a good
You're
one.
following in your dad's footsteps, aren't you?
Yeah, he's more of a I can fix literally anything and also
Yeah.
bench press you, even though I'm like 63.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like kind of what you aspire to be at that age. Like I would not want to arm wrestle him. He would destroy me, even with his
Yeah.
hurt shoulder.
That's how my dad is.
But yeah, something kind of like that. But I'm more wanting to go into like the drafting
Yes,
aspect
yes.
of it.
It's kind of
like,
like what Josh Oyster does. What he
CAD design.
Yeah, he
stuff
does
like
like
that.
CAD design and stuff.
Mhm.
He designs all the pipes in Birmingham. Just a fun fact throughout that.
Really?
Well, he did. I'm not sure if he still does that because he got a new job. So I'm not sure if it's the same stuff, but I know he is still in CAD design. So
Oh, well,
Yeah,
he's
we had a
offering
couple of-
apprenticeships.
We had a couple of friends that did CAD. When I worked at Greening, we had people that did CAD. Like we made wheels and different parts for cars, and like you can't get stuff anymore.
Mhm.
Like especially some older stuff like trim lines and stuff for dash panels
Yeah.
and wheels. And we had people that would CAD design that, and we'd machine them out. We had a machinist.
Oh,
We'd make it
cool.
out of billet. We make a lot of stuff out of billet. And the new guy come
Nice.
in and he got us into 3D printer stuff. Which I
Mm.
don't know. We should have done that a long time ago.
yeah,
Mm.
100%.
But he got into 3D printing and he'd make like stuff out of rubber, like little bumps and stuff. He has like rear windows on like a 70s Ferrari, and it had a bump stop. When you take the car apart to paint it, those things break and you can't get them. So he'd just got into like, his CAD design and made the 3D printer print out a rubber filament and just made the piece and we just popped it in.
Nice.
And then
Oh,
little
that's
gaskets for mirrors and just weird odd and end stuff that you can't get anymore. He's like, I'll just make that. And he'd
Yeah.
just draw it up and he'd make like a little bumper for it or guard. And I was very impressed with what he could do
Yeah.
Wow, yeah,
through the
that's pretty
CAD.
cool.
I was talking about that not long ago about how expensive Miata parts are. Cause I'm building a Miata right now, and dude, parts are so expensive. If you don't 3D print your own parts, you're spending a fortune to try and get like just a small piece of a part of a center console. Like people charge outrageous money for it. Is absolutely insane. But I wanted to take this opportunity to throw in one of our sponsors for this season. Thank you so much for Dubby for sponsoring this podcast, and let's have a word from them. One of our sponsors this season has sent me some energy. This is Dubby Energy. I'm going to turn it like this so you guys can see it. They sent me a cup, a little shaker, and some hydration powder or energy powder. This stuff you just mix it in, shake it up, and it's actually really good. They got a ton of different flavors to choose from, and they also got tubs and packets, whatever you like. Use code Shawn Wayne at discount. Click the link in the description if you want to lock in that code. Get you some W Energy today. It's really good. And yeah, let's get back to the podcast. Thanks, W. All right. Cool for them to sponsor our podcast this season. And it's pretty great products.
Yeah.
Appreciate them. But anyway, shifting gears into we were talking about like the production and stuff. Daniel, can you see how hard it is to like for me to like manhandle this back here?
Oh yeah, that's a lot, man. Like I didn't have half the stuff that you have here, and man, it was a lot. Like just making sure the cameras were on and recording, and making sure the audio was recording at the same time, and there were no problems. And you know, it's just a lot to set up and maintain and run for really one person. You know,
and then with I want to do the production so bad. But the YouTube channel has got my name plastered. You know what I mean? So I've got to do some sort of appearance in the YouTube channel itself, and it's hard to, be host and do, because I'm back here on the switcher, and that's why like I go to wide shot so much. It's because like my hands are like cramped up, so I'm like over here trying to like, because I'm like 1, 2, 4 super source and 7, and so.
Right.
And with the Yoder's podcast, I produced the Yoder's podcast. I'm off camera. I'm just back here producing for them. So it's super easy because I'm like dialed in to who's talking, and I'm not talking. So I'm just dialed into who's talking. So I see somebody like going to talk, I just like boom, swap to them.
And since you're on me, I can see how hard it is as you manhandle it over there for sure.
Yeah. So it's like it's in. I never know who's talking next. So
just wing it. Oh, which one are you on?
Yeah, I had the benefit of like, not having a host too. So trying to host, like you're sitting here having to think of like ideas of what to talk about while you're hitting all these buttons. And,
multitask.
I couldn't do that.
It's
rough.
It's hard. My mind's going at a million miles an hour.
I mean, I could do that. I could do that, but I don't know how good it would turn out on the production side, or even me talking probably.
Yeah. My mind went somewhere else.
I know. You're riding the wave over there.
Yeah, just talking about how hard it is as you manhandle it. It's great.
We'll keep him behind the scenes.
This is how our work day would go. By the way, it was nothing but like, that.
Yeah, if somebody says something, and then you're just over like,
just go straight there.
Michael hated that so much too. He was like, you guys need to grow up. And he like walk away.
It's on the outside of the inside joke. What's going on? Why are you laughing at me?
Seth to be like, push your wire through. He would say it like really weird, push your wire through.
Just push it through the hole.
And Michael's like, I'm about to quit. He would just get so mad.
It's work.
We need to like reunion with him.
Yeah. Should have him one day.
Like, hey man, again, sorry I almost killed you.
That's how those 4 months went.
Hey, you remember that time I gave you COVID?
I'm sure he does. I'm probably on his hit list or something.
Or
moved up a couple of numbers.
What about a plot twist? What if he gave you COVID?
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Gave it to everybody else.
Ching ching.
Because he had it first.
Law and order noise.
Imagine. Yeah, there we go. Almost
never
killed
know.
themselves there. But yeah, we the production, I know we get like, this is how this podcast goes. We'll just get off on rabbit trails. But eventually I would like to be like over there with like a wide shot and stuff like that. So that's what
I would like you to be over here with a wide shot.
I bet we'll have to get you
I feel
up.
like you're so far away.
I know. And you're not even using the headphones, so I have to throw that out there.
You just got a nice, powerful voice.
There we go.
Yeah.
Always have. I was told that the other day, actually.
Plus my ears, they're actually in my neck. So.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that.
These are just for show.
Yeah. I broke my phone. That's like my phone is like, you can only see half my phone. But I was paying the deductible on the phone or whatever, and to get a new phone shipped to me or whatever. And the lady was like, your voice is like an announcement, or like you have like a podcast. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
got a podcast. You check it out. It's on
Coincidentally.
YouTube. So she's probably watching this one right now. I'm like, what a loser.
What a confidence boost, though.
Yeah, it really was. I was over here like on top of the world. I was like, you know what? I got a pretty good voice.
Probably like Googled you in the background while she was doing
She's
the
like,
information.
ew, gross.
Look at this guy.
It's about like that time somebody told me I have a face for radio. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
They sent me like an iPhone 12 because she was like, ew, gross. Send him an iPhone 12.
You'll give him a nice one.
Yeah. But yeah, the along that side, it's so hard to like, because I want to be over there, and then it's hard to find,
You're so used to producing and being a presence that, it's hard to do both, but you want to be more of a presence than produce.
Yeah, I really do want to be like a big presence on my podcast and stuff like that. So what are you doing over there?
I'm making
Drawing
notes.
another picture for you.
Are you making notes?
I'm making notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you had how did the I watched a few episodes of the you and Jesse Priest's podcast. How did that? How did y'all like that?
It went well for a while. It started to become just too much because we were doing it like, I don't know how frequently y'all do it. We were doing every week.
We do it every week.
We try to.
Well, yeah, we try to.
The main thing was the editing and also trying to find new people that we haven't had on, because after a certain point, the talent pool
You
kind of
recirculate.
runs out.
Yeah.
And so we started having to branch out on season 2 to like people from Tennessee and, almost in Georgia and Mississippi and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, man. We got a couple characters on there. Like toward the end, there was some wild stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like a couple of people, I couldn't believe they drove all the way from Tennessee to get there. Let's just put it that way, because they probably shouldn't have been
Driving.
behind the wheel of a car.
Oh my goodness.
Stuff like that. And we had one guy come one time, and he just wanted to like jam the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
Jam, dude.
I don't think he realized that we're like trying to do a legit show here, and he's just like, man, I got all my PA equipment in my car, let's just jam. And
Where's
we're
the
like,
audience?
and we're like, man, it's like 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night. Like, we're kind of wanting to go home and go to bed. You know what I mean?
Let's jam all night.
It's like we're kind of past the jamming thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how me and Shawn on the first one was like, we had a handful of people we wanted, and on this one we were trying to find more business or just reach out to different aspects, like the music side and the business side, and we're hoping that we can grow from there by making connections with maybe people we don't know.
Yeah.
By like businesses, people that we don't know, and that might grow to more connections of other people.
Right.
That's what we're kind of focusing on this season.
Seth over here just draw.
I'm making notes. I'm just making notes.
So, and like Dylan said, I want to appeal to everyone. Like, I want to make videos that everybody will watch. Like, I want to appeal to the whole world. So that's why we're like trying to branch out to different people to like come onto the podcast and like get their feel of like what they do and stuff like that. Because like the first season, we wing the first season 100%. You watch it, you're like, oh man, these guys have no idea what they're doing, but it's working. It's weird.
Learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we had a few people on and done that sort of stuff. And then the talk, I believe it was season 1 where we started talking about like our feel for like social media, like what we wanted to, what niche that we wanted to jump into and like what we wanted to get into. And I was like, I want to do like everything. But the problem is you have to hone that in and then come up with like a scheduled time to like come film it. Yeah, you got to be consistent. If you're going to do a show, like thought process, like we did, we were consistent with it and it worked. And there were some episodes with low view count. There were some episodes with massive view counts. So, so you gotta get in there with, and be consistent. We did it every week. We uploaded and it worked. We did like 10 episodes and it was great. And then on the filming side, like I did the vlogs. So vlogs do really well, but it's because I upload vlogs every week. So people watch those like a show every week. They do, they watch it. Now for a niche that come along, like, when we do, let's say we do like me and Dylan did a car vehicle, or like a not car vehicle. We did a vehicle video. Sorry, we did a vehicle video where we changed like what was it, knock sensors
Yeah,
a long time ago.
That Toyota.
Yeah, and that video blew up, and it is still being
It's
watched.
just like an informative
yeah,
video. Because like if you look it up, like per how you're supposed to do it, they tell you to like take the whole head off this side to put these knock sensors in the valley of this Toyota.
yeah.
Sounds like
And
a
I just
lot.
like cut the band off and slide this tube out and like put a hose clamp back around it to hold it, because that's basically all it was just a holding clamp, and like pulling the whole freaking head off just to put a knock sensor in there.
It was like
Right.
2 hours
Yeah.
versus 28 hours or something like that.
Yeah,
That's what
Just
we.
basically it's how to. I was just in there just telling them how to do it, what I was doing, how to do it, what parts we got for it to do it, and like that was it.
And
And it's like his second grossing video,
Yeah.
second biggest one.
like the
It was
video,
terrible too.
can
Like
see
I
why.
could tell I was bad. but I
yeah,
was just
camera work was
explaining it.
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I go back and look at some of our like early
was useful.
episodes. Oh, they were so bad. Like I didn't know anything about color grading or none of
Me
that,
either.
man. Like trying to splice stuff
We-
together.
We filmed in a dark shed.
That's in my shop.
Yeah,
I have
dark shop with a
Probably
GoPro.
like 5 fluorescent lights, and
Yeah.
only 3 of them work. And
Right.
Have one bulb in them.
It was,
work.
it was a GoPro with no microphone.
Yeah.
And like I was doing these weird like come in,
Shaking.
come out
and-
shots. So it was
yeah.
shaking coming in because it was
Yeah.
like not on a stabilizer. Like
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
We my little gimbal thing that I made that I would wheel around was basically like one of these rolling chairs, and I had a old paint bucket on top of it, and I literally would set the camera on it and just like push the rolling chair around. I thought, man, I just invented something legendary, you know. And it just like we got the stuff back, it just looked horrible.
Yeah.
You see the camera like doing this.
Reminds me of like
Tumbling.
literally last week. Speaking of Charles, I had to go film this like road for him, and I basically had to hang out the side of the van holding a camera
Oh,
to film the
gosh.
side of the road. The whole thing's just like, well, dude, just invest in a stabilizer because this ain't working. This looks like crap. Man. This
Yeah.
looks like crap.
I wish he would up his production because he would have like he has a solid foundation if he would just upgrade everything, you know. But he's like stuck in his ways. He's like, I feel like he thinks he's got state of the art technology. It was. Don't get me wrong. That stuff was state of the art technology back in 1994. You know,
Technology moves a lot
1995.
faster now, though.
Yeah.
Well,
If he would just, you know, he has a solid like production thing. If he would just, you know, upgrade a few things.
I mean, I guess if something's worked for you for so long, well,
Yeah, 100. Yeah, that is true. It's worked for him for a long time. So I guess why break something that ain't broke, or why fix something that ain't broke? I guess. In our eyes, we were like, man, this would be a lot better if you could just if you just use like this camera.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be like, it'd be so great.
but why get McDonald's when we've got food at home?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But I want to jump into this next ad break. Shank It Golf. You see my hat here? Pretty cool little hat. It says plastered. The guy laying down with a flag stick. It's probably not as PG as it should be. But here's a word from that sponsor here. Thank you guys so much for being a part of Thought Process Season 2. We've got 2 new sponsors this season. Shank It Golf. I'm not the best golfer, but I do love having some of the best gear out there. And what I will tell you, Shank It Golf has some of the best gear and the funniest stuff out there as well. This is one of the hats, for example, they sent me to promote for you guys. It's pretty cool. It says plastered. Has Shank It Golf on the side right here. All around, pretty good, pretty nice golf hat. I would recommend, it's really good quality. I would recommend this golf hat to anybody. I've been actually wearing it all the time, even, you know, golfing on the course and all that good stuff. And there's no sweat ring on there. And we golf during summer as well pretty often. So usually my hats start getting like sweat rings, and this one does not have one yet. So that's a plus. If you want your own hat or other merchandise, they sell everything. Click the link down in the description. Use my link for a discount on your next order. And we're back.
Such a good brand.
Yeah,
Such
it's
a good
great.
brand.
Great.
I'd like to give a shout out to my own sponsor, the
Lean
Hold
back
it,
a
hold
little.
it, yeah, hold it sideways.
There we
The
go.
There
flat
it
top
is.
turkey.
What's a flat top turkey?
It's a turkey with a flat top.
It's got a flat top hairdo.
I thought you were taking notes.
It was. That was his
I
note.
was.
That was
That
what was on his
That was the
mind.
note.
That was the notes.
I mean, he's got the
It's a
armadillo.
turkey with a flat top. What more do you need?
He's got the armadillo beside him, so he had to challenge.
That's
Exactly.
true. That's
You
true.
See, this is going to be my next shirt design.
Flat top turkey versus
Flat top
glasses
I swear,
armadillo.
if that ends up on your website, I'm buying it. Whatever.
Yeah,
It
Big
might
seller.
not be this specifically, but
Yeah.
keep an eye out for a turkey with a flat top.
I would go to his website, and the shirt is just like this massive, like, super nice drawn out. I was like, that is not what he drew on my podcast.
I don't
Bye,
remember
anyway.
it like that.
Okay,
The
I'll
doodle.
I'll take this and scan it, and then we'll go from there.
There you
Yeah.
go. Imagine that be like the hot seller. It's just that, you're like,
If anything did, it'd probably be that.
whatever.
Then he could put like a little QR code to lead us to this episode.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's a
On
good
the
idea.
backside.
It's a good idea.
Where's that from?
I'll throw the QR code up right now. Boom. Now that's on the screen, it goes to your website. Will it have the turkey there or not?
We'll see.
The flat top turkey, as featured on Yoder's Talk.
No, don't process.
Sold now.
But yeah, that's I've had a good time. This has been awesome. I feel like I'm like over here I'm just kidding. I'm not taking notes. This is ad breaks for Yoder's Talk.
And flat
I
top
just
turkey.
yeah, flat top turkey. Actually, Seth has been taking notes for your interview. I'm just joking.
Just leave those there and see what Clinton says when he comes in.
Once
Starts flipping through. He's like, I don't remember drawing this.
we got a
Oh,
recording.
where'd this come from?
We got a recording Friday, so he's gonna like sit down. He's gonna be like,
Yeah.
"What is this?" I was like,
put
"Oh,
it
that's
on him."
just a flat top
At
turkey."
least you wrote what it is on there, so it's a little more understandable.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want there to be any confusion.
the
He's like,
next
"Who's
guy.
taking over my pad here and my notepad?"
I mean, you give me a pen and paper, and I'm gonna do something. You're lucky that's what I drew.
Yeah, it's true.
He's gonna flip to the other page and see was it a taco and a smiley face?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
this is PG.
yeah,
Could have
it is.
been a lot worse.
Definitely. At least it's PG. But yeah, I've had a solid time. And we jumped into the music side of stuff, in our backgrounds and how we knew each other and stuff like that. It was a good episode. Solid episode. And the production side. Now everybody knows what I go through on a basis of production for thought process.
You're doing a good job. We're proud of you.
I'm still the same way, Seth. I'll never change.
It's like if I'm never really sure where to look, because you're looking over there. I'm like, oh, that's where he is. Oh, he's looking right at me.
It's very confusing. This wide shot is.
Makes it easier.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's like I want to look at the person talking, but then I'm like, that's
Yeah.
a better view right there.
There we go.
It's kind of like you're at the gym talking to somebody. Do I look at you, or do I look at the
Yeah.
mirror?
Yeah.
I feel like it
100%.
feels more engaging when you look at the person instead
Yeah.
of trying to look up there. But I like
Yeah.
being able to see us up there, so
Yeah.
that does make it easier. Because otherwise, I'm like, I don't know what I look like or where I'm at, or
You look
Yeah.
gorgeous.
I try.
He always says, "Hey, stop." I'm.
One day I'll be man enough to grow a beard like you.
It's terrible.
this
all these
is all I got.
patches.
At least you got that. This is all I got. It just grows in all like Joe Dirt. If
I
let
was
it go.
I was growing a beard out, dude. I had like.
Shawn had a heck of a beard.
I had like a pretty solid beard going on,
It was
and
like lumberjack Shawn.
And I like looked in the mirror one morning. I was like, man, it's just not doing what I want it to do. So I like trimmed it, took a bunch of hair off of it. And then I came into work next day and everybody was devastated. They were like, bro, you had like a nice beard. What are you doing? And I was like, I thought, well, crap. This is my bad. Everybody liked it.
I don't say nothing till it's gone.
Yeah, 100%. I go,
So
I guess
like
I'll.
what you got
So
going,
majestic.
I was like, I guess I'll just grow it back out because I had a pretty solid beard coming. Like it was pretty long. But yeah, whatever. I was like, whatever.
No, you got-
Even my wife, she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm like mid shave." I'm like, "Just trim my beard." I didn't think you liked it. She was like, "I love it."
It's like my hair was pretty long for a while, and then we had our subathon. I
Yeah,
tried to
but-
do a faux hawk, and it kind of got a little riff on the edges. Then I tried to fix it, and I got to fixing this, and I just ended up buzzing the whole thing off.
Aw.
So now it's like growing back finally.
Oh, that's another announcement we need to make.
You got a faux hawk?
Subathon,
That's the announcement.
huh?
Subathon.
Yeah, our little subathon that we're doing. Hey, we should get you on.
could play some music.
Yeah, we'll get
Sure.
Both
you.
y'all.
I'm going to talk to Daniel about producing it because I was already going to talk to you about that. But, Seth,
Produce it and be a
Seth, we
guest.
need to get you on.
I could do a mean NSYNC cover.
Yeah,
All
that would be
right.
sick. We dance together. I'm
We
just
could,
kidding.
we could do like karaoke. You just have the words up there.
We're saying all the wrong words.
Misheard lyrics.
Anyway, the subathon is not going to be what we have been doing. We've been trying to stream as long as we possibly can, and our record is 27 hours straight streaming. That's sleeping, eating, everything in front of camera. And I think we've proven that we could do a pretty long stream, and I don't want to try to prove that again. However, we want to run a 10-hour consistent stream. So we'll do 10 hours one day and 10 hours the next. And then that way you guys can rewatch the VOD and check out our awesome moments and stuff like that. But
And try to keep it more interesting.
try to keep it more
'Cause
interesting,
the content is
flowing,
kind of dull.
gives
before.
us a break, between the two days that we stream, and all that good stuff. And we'll be able to have a guest on, and it'll be more more
engaging.
more engaging, more thought out, and stuff like that. Because
Try to do it more podcast format.
we're like, we're
Having
gonna do
people
this
come and go.
podcast. It's a month away, and it gets 3 days away, and we're like,
What are we gonna
everybody
do?
know what are we doing? I was like, I don't know. Call Corey. Call blah blah blah. Let's get them
Yeah.
on. And it always ends up. We always have a good time. Don't get me wrong. It was a great time. Both times that we did it, the production side was a little crazy, but the time that I had on the subathon that we did both times was amazing. It was great, and we got a ton of views. I made a ton of money off of it, and it was really good. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna hone it in. We're gonna do it right because we want to make this production great, and for the viewer and all that good stuff. And those low points where we just didn't know what to do. Again, I'm
Learning
so
curve.
sorry, Corey, but this is a learning curve. Corey came in and it was so boring.
He was like tired, woke up, he's there hanging out.
Yeah.
And like, you want some snacks? Here's some snacks. Then we had some golf balls and
And that was pretty cool. If we had
a little better camera
a
setup.
little,
for
yeah,
it, but
little better camera setup, better microphone situation. Like we thought about that on the fly. And we had no idea what we were doing, but we could have made it so much better. But we will make it better. This segment that we're doing this time will be better. So, Seth, we're going to have you on there. If you can scrounge out some time in your schedule.
I think I can spare a couple minutes.
There we go. That works for us. We'll get you on and let you experience the subathon. It'll be rebranded, renamed by the time that we get there. I think it's about a month and a half away or something that we planned. I don't know. I gotta get with Dylan to make sure, but it'll be rebranded. But it is technically still the subathon that we've been doing. It'll just be a little more, thought out and stuff like that. But anyway, thank you guys for jumping in on this episode of Thought Process. I've had a great time. Seth and Daniel, thank you guys so much.
No, thanks
Yeah,
for having
thank
me. It's been a
y'all.
great time. We
This
gotta do
is
this again sometime.
yeah, absolutely. We'll get you back on. Absolutely. We got a few more episodes that we haven't filled spots for. So if you don't mind coming back on, we'll get you back on.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you. This is episode 2 of Thought Process. We'll see you guys later. Don't forget to
See ya.
subscribe and go check out his turkey flat bread
Flat top
turkey.
turkey.
Flat top turkey. That's what it was.
Top turkey.
It's making me hungry
down,
now.
down. Flat top turkey. Down, down.
Wow.
This is when I don't have any friends.